Mom could wake up any moment, but I've always wanted to do this. To talk to you, just talk while I'm taking a bath. And my mom could wake up any... Uh-oh, hot. It's supposed to take baths. It has lavender, doctor's, what does Dr. something? It's lavender, chamomile, Epsom salt. It's Dr. something. That's really hot. It's supposed to be hot though, as hot as you can tolerate it in order to get the best detox benefit from it. So the door is locked, and again, my mother could wake up any moment, in which case I'll immediately get out of the tub, I'll shut this off, I'll hide the camera in the drawer over there, and then I'll resume. You could also start howling any minute, but that's my life, right? I want to get in here before my mother wakes up. No time to deal with all the worst case scenario. I have to go to the bathroom. I'm very grateful that I didn't break my foot. It would have sucked. I'm going to be able to go out and walk and listen to my favorite tunes pretty soon. I have new ones to play. I just heard one by the Struts called Falling With Me. I liked that. People are coming out with fun ones that are 2022. I don't even usually hear these people on Music Choice. I have Cut the Cord by Collective Soul, and I have Spillways by Ghost. That's it so far. That's enough if it's new music that I like and I can jam to. I said I'll be careful, but I still have to live. I shouldn't have been walking so fast sideways on the hill. That was stupid of me. It was just stupid. When any kind of exercise that people do, you risk injury, okay? Especially if you're like me and you're not walking, you're less likely to be injured, but it's also boring. When I used to go to Bally's in Santa Monica, they had a track inside the gym. To me, that's just boring. It's safer than, or even a track outside. See, I walk around people, and even at Joe's, even though it wasn't civilization for the most part, I did go down into civilization and go down and around just for variety's sake, rather than backtrack. So it was some civilization. I didn't have to worry about cars coming so close to me, though there were sidewalks. But mostly I just walked around his neighborhood. I don't want to walk around this neighborhood. So I go into civilization and, I have to be careful. People can pull out of driveways, and I'm as careful as I can be. Not like what happened to me the other day. It couldn't happen in some other form again, but again, you have to live. And this is the nature of me. If I was doing other things, I wouldn't be walking everywhere for miles and miles and miles. I wouldn't even have a gym membership these days. I can't afford it anyway. Everything's different. Plus I'd have to take buses to get there, and I don't feel like taking buses to get to my gym membership. When I had it when I was in my 20s and 30s, I could walk there. So I lived in relative, it wasn't city, but it was relative city, I guess. So someone said to me on one of my viewers, I don't call you a fan unless you earn it. And true fans know who they are. One of my viewers said, alright, I need to get back into that. One of my viewers said, when are you going to get naked or whatever? I'm never going to get naked, okay? Never. Back when I did my Earth Camp TV channel, Alicia's World, I had a fucking man's wet dream body, okay? I had a killer body. I was 31 years old. I didn't have an ounce of fat on me. I was 160, okay? And 160 at 5'9.5" bare feet, and it was muscle. I, even when I weighed more, people thought I'd lost more weight than I had because I did it to muscle. I really created a killer fucking body, and I did it poor. I did it without any personal trainers or nutritionists or anything, okay? I did it on my own by extreme discipline, which is what my auntie said, God, Larry, the way you exercise 3 hours a day, that's what Hollywood people do. Right? It's what I did, and I got a Hollywood body, by still not being dirt poor for the most part. Not as dirt poor as I am now, but still. Yeah, no, and even then I didn't get naked. I had my fans begging me, I did not get naked. I'm not going to get naked. I sure as fuck won't get naked now. Not in any universe. Not in any universe, okay? I didn't get naked back then when I had the fucking rock hard killer body. Then I'm not gonna get naked when I'm gonna be 54 years old. I don't even remotely have the body that I used. Nonetheless, that's not what I'm about anyway. I don't do that. Just like I would never do solo porn or anything like that. Uh-oh. I should have kept that on alarm only. I set the alarms. I'm not in here too long. I could faint. And I ate enough, so I probably won't faint, but still I can't get into it. Now a million texts are going to come through. Oh, well. Oh, there it goes. So, I'm going to shave my legs. I noticed that line going across the back of my leg. I never had that before. That's a varicose vein. Someone who has money can get rid of that. Someone who doesn't have money can cheaply cover it also. If I care, if I don't. You can cover up shit. Cheaply. But that is something that I didn't have before I saw that. That's something new. So I'm hoping I can get that new music on Amazon that's available. There's no saying it will be. Brand new songs might not be yet available on Amazon. That's the thing. I've noticed they usually are, but not necessarily. These are 2022 songs. They're probably not available on Amazon. But if they are, I will buy those 3. something Falling With Me by Struts, Spillways by Ghost, and Cut the Cord. For some reason, I went online on YouTube, and it said for the Collective Soul, it said Cut the C-O-R-D, but on Music Choice Rock, it said C-H-O-R-D, so I thought that was like a little play on words, because chord, like musical chords, so I don't know why it says something different. I don't know what's the real title. Not that it matters, but it's kind of interesting. So I bought 20 Poland Spring waters, and I did that because I know what's going on in Mississippi, and I know that the chances of that hitting here are slim to none, okay? But nonetheless, it's a small investment, okay? 20 gallons of water is a small investment to save. I don't know where I'm going to put them, but just a case, you know, that would last a little while if maybe, you know, I'm assuming Mississippi's not going to be out of water forever and we're all going to die of dehydration. I mean, I'm going to assume that. I hope. I really don't know. A lot of weird shit's happening these days. I don't know. So anyway, just like I might stock up on some food, which I've always done. I've always done that. Doing that years ago. You know? But small investment of 20 gallons of water, and I'll have to put them in the laundry room, I guess. Doesn't matter. Technically, I could put them in my closet if I had to. There's nothing in there. I'm going to try to put them in the laundry room, though, because I don't want them. I cleaned yesterday. I cleaned everything. I even scrubbed the kitchen floor. I vacuumed the whole place. The day before, I cleaned my whole room, except for laundry, but that's all right. My entire room is clean and vacuumed and everything, and everything's all nice and neat in containers instead of all over my bed and the floor. Then if I have a bunch of clothes on the floor, that's clean enough. I'll slowly wash them and hang them up and put them away, and then my room will be completely clean. As some of you know, or most of you know, if you're going to be listening to this, only my true fans are going to listen to this, because if you don't know me, you're not going to start off with a freaking video that you can't even see me. That's just voice. That would be, just doesn't. I have really long legs, so I'm shaving them very carefully so I don't get cut. I'm not intimate with anybody, so plus the pandemic hit, plus the woman I really liked, I called up, once things had tied over a little bit, they'd slowed down and whatnot. I was gonna go and see how she was doing, get a Brazilian, even though, not a Brazilian, get a waxing from her, basically to catch up, see how she was dealing with the pandemic and everything, and I called up, and they're still there, but she retired. She was my mom's age, and she retired. She was hot as hell. She retired, so I don't feel like seeing anyone else, so it's just, what it is now is what most men don't like. But again, I'm not intimate with anybody. If I'm intimate with somebody, then I would go out and take care of it, just as I would expect him to do. She had a lot of men get wax, men get that. Men didn't do that back when I was in my wild phase or whatever, but it's good for the women, it's good for the guys. They should get it too. They should get the fucking waxes too. This woman told me men are babies. She says they're way worse babies when it comes to the pain of having the hair pulled out than women are. And I was very stoic. I'd sit there and chat with her while she's in pain. She's pulling out the hair and I'm in pain. And we'd sit there and chat. it lessened it, you know. If you could sit there and chat with somebody that you really like and get along with and who cares about you and tells you that you know that you're beautiful and that there's no reason why you can't respond to 20-year-olds who write to you on personal ads, which I wouldn't do. I'd draw the line. You have to be at least 21. Be at least old enough to drink. You know, technically I could be with an 18-year-old, and I had 18-year-olds respond to my personal ads way back when. But I'm not interested in an 18-year-old. I'm not interested in a 21-year-old guy. But that's not the point. The point is she told me there's nothing wrong with it. And then she proceeded to tell me about somebody she knew who she had given license to, I guess, who was 45 or something, and with kids, with like 3 kids, I think, and who wound up with like a 25-year-old. I remember telling me that story. So it happens not just, you know, in Hollywood land, like with Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. I read something that said that they had broken up, but it might have been just a joke. I don't think they'd broken up. I thought they were going to get married. That's the last I heard. I last heard that they were soulmates and they loved to talk and they were going to get married. And he's certainly night and day from Kanye West, I'll tell you that. I don't know. Nothing everlasting. But yeah, she told me that story because she wanted to let me know that she really thought I was attractive, and she's like, who cares if someone's in their 20s and responding to your personal life? Who cares if your 40s and their 20s? Go for it, do it. Which I didn't. Foot guy and beach guy were a respectable 13 and like 12 and 13 years younger than me. Something like that. One of them was 13 and one of them was like 11, like 12 years younger than me. Which is respectable. 20s and well, in this case now I'm in my 50s. Like when I was in my 40s and doing the personal ads, like, but she did not care. She was awesome as hell. I hope she's okay. Nothing happened to her, but I'll never know. Just know she was nice to me, and I genuinely knew she was nice to me. Versus I have people I thought were my friends for years, my acquaintances or whatever, and one of them just has not been treating me good. It doesn't make me hate the person, it just makes me wonder if the person ever liked me at all, or if it was all a lie all along. Because I feel like if you've known somebody for that long, and you say stuff to them and have no qualms about saying stuff to them that might offend them, then why the hell are you going to get offended by something it's already been 20 minutes? Are you kidding me? Wow. 20 minutes goes by fast, doesn't it? You know what I mean? I'm hurt by that. I haven't even known my contractor only a year, or a little over a year maybe. And if my contractor suddenly turned on me and was cold or cruel to me, I would be taken aback. This is someone I've known for 6 fucking years. This is someone I've confided in. And for that person to treat me the way that person has lately been treating me because of stress and because of whatever, it's not nice. It hurts me. It puzzles me, it hurts me, because again, this person to treat me that way now, I'm wondering if it was an act all along, and this person never liked me. And I convinced myself that this person liked me because I wanted to have confidence and believe this person liked me like I liked this person. But if you're going to treat me this bad when we've known each other like 6 years, then there's something wrong. Like seriously. And it's not just once and then an apology, it's lately. It's lately this person has not been treating me, so I'm just going to avoid the person. Even though I've liked this person for a very long time and I've appreciated this person, you know. listening to me vent about my mom and everything going on with that, things I can't say to her. But I just don't understand why this person has lately just been not very nice to me. And it hurts, but, you know, it hurts. I'll tell you that much, it does hurt. I know my own heart. And if I adore this person for everything this person has done for me above and beyond, and now it's just being a jerk, like an outright fucking jerk, then I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? Why the hell are you treating me this way? I could jump down your throat the things you say to me, and you have no qualms about saying it to me, but you can't give as good as you get, and meanwhile, I'm totally right in what I'm saying to you. You're just being irrational. So I'm not going to stop loving you when I've loved you for this long. I genuinely care about this person, but I'm going to avoid you from now on, which means I now have to find other things to do to fill up my entire 3 hours, because my 3 hours, it doesn't take 3 hours for me to walk all the way around my favorite music plastic eaters. It only takes an hour and a half to a couple hours, depending. So I have to kill 3 hours because I love getting out of this house. I need to get out of this house. When I'm in this house, I forget there's an outside world. Dude, I forget there's a fucking outside world. Because she brings me down so low and she just constantly bothers me. You know? I told you I found a way to kill more time and get more exercise and get in better shape. I found a little road that I can go down and it's kind of deserted for the most part. Even if it's a little not deserted, it's okay because I don't care if one or some cars go by. I just don't want a lot of cars. And I can sing out loud. And mostly there's no cars. I can sing out loud. Better than going down and behind a building because this way I can walk and get exercise and postpone going home and to her and her downer attitude. That just went off at 20 minutes. This goes 9, so I'll go to 29 minutes with this and that's it. So yeah, I invested in 20 things at Poland Spring Water. Just a little investment, you know. Why not? Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. As somebody very wise once said. And it's not a huge investment. They cost like $169, $179 each times 20. I didn't get 100, I got 20. Just in case there's no running water for whatever reason. Why did it happen in Mississippi? No one can tell me why it happened in Mississippi. Don't say it can't happen anywhere. Happened in Mississippi to these people who are out of luck if they don't have, you know, at least some gallons of extra water in case their water just stops coming out of the faucet, stops running completely. Then there are people who say to have a filter, but what do? Do you put pond? You go find pond water, or do you get rainwater? You get a bucket and get rainwater and put that in your filter. There's usually always going to be rain. That's what Joe talked about. He has where he lived, he had a rain thing, a rain barrel. I don't know if he put it up where he is now. His new place. He let me know he has internet. I told him if we ever moved together, we had to have a place, of course, that had an internet access to all of us. So I and Joe and my mom could all have a computer set up somewhere, even if we had to pay big bucks to get it intentionally hooked up. Doesn't matter because, like I said, we were going to sell this place for a pretty penny. These days especially, but that might be changing. And get a place with Joe in the country where it would be a hell of a lot cheaper. That was the plan. Best laid plans of mice and men. One of the best laid plans of my mentally ill mom who goes back and forth for over a year with me and Joe and driving us both insane. Out of the blue, I was all prepared. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to crack down, in the summer. We're going to do this. And then, I've changed my mind, Laura. I want to stay here. Okay, it's up to you. It's up to you. I'm never leaving you, Mom, so don't worry. You know I'm never going to leave you again. Never gonna leave you, Mama. Couldn't do it. It would kill me. I'd have no life anyway. She doesn't belong in a nursing home. I'm not going to put her in a nursing home. I'm not going to do it. Not unless I had absolutely no choice, because she was like, she still functions. She still goes places with her friends. She still makes her own breakfast and lunch and all that. She does not belong in a nursing home. But it's hard because she does, need a partial caregiver that companion or whatnot. I can't afford. If we'd been with Joe would have helped so much, emotionally, everything, with my mom. Plus, we were going to have a donkey, and like he said, if you're feeling down, your mom or you can walk the donkey around the yard. Jenny. The cutest, most beautiful story showed up in my feed. I don't usually read anything, but I read this because it said, why is this dog looking down this storm drain? It's a stray dog. And in the end, it was starving, the stray dog, but it would get food from somebody who felt bad for it, and then it would always stare down that storm drain, and in the end it turned out it was dropping food down the storm drain, the woman who always gave this dog food. And just as a spoiler alert, before this ends, she wound up keeping the dog. But what was down the storm drain was 5 little kittens that were starving to death, and this dog was sharing its food. So this dog had more compassion than most people, especially, you know what I mean, what compassion. It's starving and it gets food, it gives half of it to the 5 kittens down the storm drain. And no one can make up this story. And even if they did, like someone will come in a comment, even if it's made up, I don't believe it's made up. It's a beautiful story, and they show the kittens and they show the dog, and it was a stray dog, probably in another country. I gotta look at it again, but what a beautiful story. Unbelievable. The dog's starving and it shares half of its food that it has to beg for with these 5 kittens down the storm drain, that it doesn't know how to tell humans, please get my kittens out. But this one human cared so much about the dog, decided to follow it one day and see what was happening. And she looked down the drain like the dog was constantly doing to see why it was looking down there. 5 beautiful kittens that only survived because this dog had more compassion than most human beings. Let's just tell it like it is, okay? This canine that was living on the streets, it was a stray, had more compassion for these little kittens than most people have for their fellow human beings. Unbelievable. People wrote that in comments. I just wrote, this is a beautiful story. What a beautiful story. But people wrote in comments like, this dog has more compassion than most human beings. Especially when people start losing their humanity and just not caring at all. Okay, we're at half hour and my mom didn't interrupt us. That's a miracle and a half. This is going to shut off.